Welcome. So this is a quick review just of how to get Python on your computer and what is Python. So for those who don't quite remember or who are completely new to computer programming, Python is a really easy introductory beginning level program uh, that creates code for your computer to use. So programming languages are just a way for you to tell the computer what you want it to do. A little background, Python was named for Mighty Python. They wanted to create it simple. So there's a lot of window. So here I got Twitter open. But we can go ahead, file, new window here. And we're just going to go python.org. Nothing too fancy here. You're then going to have to go to downloads. We're going to download the 3.6 version here. So scroll all the way down. Now, depending on what you're using, if you're using Mac, you're going to have to go with the Mac version. That's this one right here. I'm on a Mac, so I'll be doing that. Those who are doing Windows, though, you're going to go to Windows, Executable Installer, or web-based. I'd probably go Executable. So go ahead, click that, and then it's going to start downloading here. What I like to do is go ahead and just open when done. And then it should go ahead and pop up. Now you're going to go ahead and run the installation program. So continue. You're going to have to click the agree to the statement here. Agree to the licensing. Agree. Okay, you're going to then put it on your hard drive. So I would go continue. Then you're going to go install. Now I've already installed it, so I'm not going to do the whole install again. But you go ahead and install right here, and then it should go ahead and run through the whole process, and then you should find it right on. Now, depending where you put it, whether it's going to be on in your downloads or it should be in your C drive. So when you go ahead and do that, you're going to go look and then find your Python. Now I'm going to look at my applications. So if I just go to my application folder, that's where it's going to be on a Mac. If you're ever unsure on a window, down in this corner here is your start menu. Go ahead and just type in Python or idle. And then when you do that, then you should be able to find right away where it's at. So Python is a programming language. What we actually use to type with is idle. So idle right here. So I'm going to click that right here. And what's going to pull up is going to be a blank screen which you can write on. So here is my idle window. Now, this is the shell. Nothing is being saved inside the shell. But we can go ahead and run a few things here. These three arrows right here mean prompt, you're ready to go. So I can start off just with some basic 4 plus 4. And it gives me a nice answer of 8. I can do 5 minus 3 gives me 2. Now notice here that white space doesn't really make any difference. So I can do 4 plus 4. Oh, money's on here. And I get 8. So notice 4 plus 4 and then 4 plus 4, no spaces with spaces, you're still going to get the same answer. Notice here, though, that nothing's going to save. The downfall with the shell is if you write a program, it runs right away, right off this one single line. If we want to get saved, we're going to have to learn how to create a file. But for right now, you just create this. Now, we can save variables, so I can say A is equal to 4, B is equal to 5, and then I can do an A plus B. And that goes ahead and it gives me 9. Now, this isn't saving as anything. I can also do A minus B. Okay, and that gives me a -1 here. So different things. Also, I can print, do a nice hello world. Quote here. We're going to talk about what all this means, the spaces, things like this, but we're just showing this is going to print, tells the computer output something. In a shell, it really doesn't mean much because I could actually just write hello world. So I just created a blank window here. Go ahead and mess around, see different things you can do here. You can save variables. Now this could be a number, 8, B equals boy. Notice if it's going to be a word, if it's not a numerical value, it does need to be either a single quote or a double quote. So what I mean by a double quote would be like this. Boys. Okay, now I can say B and then we'll print off that. I could just put C here. Okay, so I'm saving different information and I can manipulate it. So I can actually go C times. Now to multiply, it's actually an asterisk, so 5. And then it will do it 5 times. All right. Notice that I can't add So see how this is a numerical value? We're going to learn later in this called an integer, and there's a difference between integer and float. But this is different than a string. And so when I try to add that, I shouldn't be able to, and I should get an error. Okay, see how there's an error right here? That means it doesn't know how to add an integer and a string. We'll get more into that later. But for right now, you have now opened up your first Python program. You're in a shell. It should be running. And the next program, we will go ahead and save a file. Okay, try it out. Have fun. Let me know if you have any questions.